as he turns 35. Tom Brady's on the downside of his career. And if you ask me if he'll ever get to another Super Bowl, I have one answer. No way, no how.
I think in this past decade, we can talk about Peyton Manning and the success that he's had with the numbers, but Peyton Manning cannot stand next to Tom Brady in my eyes.
A lot has transpired during the last 2 years. And I don't think that needs any explanation.
The New England Patriots 2016 season began with controversy, uncertainty, and a fired-up fan base. They would have to battle through their first 4 games without their all-star quarterback, Tom Brady. From there, the Patriots would embark on a 14-2 regular season and win Super Bowl 51 in the greatest comeback in Super Bowl history. Here is the story of their drive for 5. The Patriots would begin their 2016 regular season facing one of their toughest matchups of the year in Arizona against the Cardinals. Predicted as the hardest of the 4 games backup quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo would be starting in, he went in with all odds against him. Although at the end of the night his numbers weren't perfect, Jimmy G would look comfortable and efficient in the pocket. The Patriots would take control of the game early, scoring on their first possession with a 10-play drive, leading to a 37-yard touchdown to recently acquired Chris Hogan. After a start from their own 8-yard line, the Patriots would make the game 10-0 with a 47-yard field goal from Stephen Gostkowski. The Cardinals will get lucky on a 2nd and 8 play with ex-Patriot Chandler Jones sacking Jimmy G, forcing a fumble. The Cardinals will capitalize on the turnover with a 1-yard touchdown to Larry Fitzgerald. The Patriots would start the second half marching 75 yards down the field in 9 plays, with LeGarrette Blount rushing in an 8-yard touchdown. Blount would shortly lose that momentum, contributing to another Patriots turnover, allowing monster running back David Johnson to eventually turn that possession into a touchdown, trimming the Patriots' lead to only 3 points. The Patriots would allow one more Larry Fitzgerald touchdown while scoring a pair of field goals for themselves to keep the lead. The Cardinals would eventually blow a game-winning 47-yard field goal, and Jimmy G would take a knee for his first career starting win. Jimmy Garoppolo would lead the charge again in Week 2 at home in Foxborough against divisional rivals, the Miami Dolphins. After the opening kickoff, the Patriots would storm 75 yards down the field in just 8 plays, scoring on a 12-yard touchdown pass to Danny Amendola. On their next possession, the Patriots would again storm down the field 75 yards in just 7 plays, and Jimmy G would throw a 20-yard touchdown pass to tight end Martellus Bennett, giving them a 14-0 lead just 8 minutes into the game. 6 minutes later, Jimmy G would have his 3rd touchdown pass to Danny Amendola. Later in the first half, the last thing anybody expected to see, Jimmy G would be driven down to the ground by linebacker Kiko Alonso. Suffering a shoulder injury, Jimmy G would leave the game with 232 yards and 3 touchdowns. Each team would score a field goal before the half is over. The Patriots would capitalize on a forced fumble in the beginning of the 3rd for another touchdown, giving the Patriots a huge 28-point lead. Rookie 3rd-string quarterback Jacoby Brissett would look to keep the Patriots alive, but the Patriots defense would eventually let up 21 unanswered points, giving the Dolphins a new ray of hope. But with 2 seconds on the clock, Ryan Tannehill would throw his 2nd interception of the game to shatter that hope. In an unexpected turn of events, the Patriots would go into Week 3 with a 2-0 record. With Jimmy Garoppolo sidelined from his shoulder injury, rookie third-string quarterback Jacoby Brissett would get the starting job. On a clear Thursday night football game, the Patriots would host the Houston Texans. After just getting by in their first 2 games with their second-string quarterback, things looked grim for Jacoby Brissett going against a tough Houston defense. At this point, it was unclear what the Patriots would do, with many fans feeling nervous about a potential first loss. The Patriots would go on to do the last thing anybody expected. They would destroy the Texans in a 27-0 blowout, which included 3 forced turnovers and a 27-yard rushing touchdown by Jacoby Brissett. Things were looking good for the Patriots. With all eyes on the Patriots and Jacoby Brissett, he would once more get the starting job with Jimmy Garoppolo still injured and Tom Brady serving the last week of his suspension. But the Patriots' momentum would come to a grinding halt with a crushing loss at home to the Buffalo Bills. The game would start with a great vibe on the very first play with Brissett hitting Julian Edelman with a 90-yard catch and run to the Bills' 1-yard line, but a holding penalty and the Patriots would bring the ball back. Things would go downhill very quickly from there. With the addition of a missed field goal by Stephen Gostkowski, the Patriots would not have a chance to score for the rest of the game, getting buried to a 16-0 blowout. With his 4-game suspension over, Tom Brady would make his triumphant return in Cleveland against the Browns. With a dominant opening drive of 80 yards in 8 plays, Blunt would score the first touchdown. Rookie quarterback Cody Kessler would respond quickly with a touchdown to even out the game. The Patriots would retake the lead with a touchdown pass to Martellus Bennett and then 2 points from an end zone fumble for a safety. After a 43-yard completion to Chris Hogan, Brady would have his second passing touchdown with another to Martellus Bennett. Clearly feeling comfortable with his new tight end, Brady and Bennett would come out with their third touchdown with a 37-yard catch and run. The Patriots would let up one more touchdown, but would finish Brady's return game with a very comfortable win. Brady would also obtain his 8th 400-plus passing yard game of his career. Brady's first game back in Foxborough would be in Week 6 against the Cincinnati Bengals. The crowd would go berserk welcoming their hero back. The game would start off to a very slow first half, with each team scoring just 1 touchdown and an extra field goal for the Pats. The momentum would speed up in the second half, giving the fans the Brady action they hoped to see. After letting up a touchdown to ex-Patriot Brandon LaFell, the momentum would shift with a sack for a safety by Dante Hightower. Brady would next march down the field, throwing every single yard until finally giving Rob Gronkowski his first touchdown of the season. The Pats would lead 25-14. Brady would reach another milestone, completing his 5,000th pass with a 38-yard completion to Gronk, putting him 4th all-time. The Patriots put the game away with a 9-play, 50-yard drive, scoring on running back LeGarrette Blount's 3-yard touchdown run. Brady would finish with 376 yards, and Gronk would have a career high of 176 yards. Going up against another tough AFC team, the Patriots would try to keep it alive on the road against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Even with the Steelers having to start backup quarterback Landry Jones, the Patriots defense would still have to match up against the league's arguably best running back and wide receiver, Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown. Brady would start the game with a nice zip to Chris Hogan for a 12-yard gain, but he would be stripped on the Patriots' own 45. The Steelers would drive it down to the Patriots' 16, but Malcolm Butler would remind the world who he was with an end zone interception on a pass intended for Antonio Brown. From there, the Patriots would go on an 80-yard marathon, resulting with Brady finding James White for a 19-yard touchdown pass. With their next possession, the Patriots would again dominate the field for 84 more yards, paving the way for a 3-yard blunt touchdown. The defense would stand their ground for the rest of the first half, only letting up one touchdown and a field goal. After letting up one more field goal, Brady would again dominate, leading the charge for 75 yards in just 5 plays, and then throwing a 36-yard rocket to Gronk for a touchdown. With another blunt touchdown in the fourth quarter, the Patriots would move to 6-1 with a 3-0 Brady. In a rematch against their only loss of the season, the Patriots would look to retaliate on the road in Buffalo against the Bills. The Bills would start the opening drive off strong, but the Patriots defense would keep them out of the end zone. The first half would consist of frustrating back and forth penalties and flags, with Brady squeezing in a touchdown pass to Amendola and the Bills scoring a field goal. Brady would eventually take control of the game with a 53-yard touchdown bomb to Chris Hogan and another 53-yard touchdown to Rob Gronkowski. The Patriots would continue to come out on fire in the second half, with Amendola taking the kickoff return for 73 yards. Two plays later, Brady would hit Edelman for a 12-yard touchdown pass. The Bills would play it back tough, with quarterback Tyrod Taylor making a 26-yard touchdown run. The Patriots would answer with a 75-yard run of their own, letting Blunt rush in one more touchdown. The Patriots put the game away after marching 76 yards in 13 plays, paving the way for Gostowski to hit one more 32-yard field goal. The Patriots would head into their bye week with the best record in the league at 7-1. Coming off their bye week, Tom Brady and crew would host a tough game in Foxborough, a Super Bowl 49 rematch against the Seattle Seahawks. The Patriots would take off quickly in their opening drive, working their way 75 yards to get Blunt in for a 1-yard touchdown. After the Patriots' red zone defense would keep them to 2 field goals, Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson would eventually begin what would be a strong connection with wide receiver Doug Baldwin. Blocking the extra point would keep the Patriots' energy alive, but that would be quickly diminished with Tom Brady's first interception of the year. Before the half would end, Blunt would run in another touchdown and Wilson would connect with Baldwin for the second time, giving Seattle a 19-15 lead at halftime. The Patriots would have their way quickly in the second half in a 10-play, 91-yard drive, allowing Blunt to get his third touchdown with a 13-yard run. The Patriots and Seahawks would battle back and forth for the rest of the half, putting up a pair of field goals each. But after a series of fumbles, another Wilson to Baldwin touchdown, and a 26-yard bomb to Edelman, the Patriots failed to capitalize in the red zone and would have their second but last loss of the season. After a tough loss to Seattle, everyone knew things would look up as Tom Brady traveled to his home area to face his childhood team, the San Francisco 49ers. The game would begin with a strong showing from the New England defense, who would begin to show what's to come for the rest of the season as they climb the rankings chart. 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick would be sacked twice in their first drive, and shortly later New England would force 2 turnovers that would be recovered by the 49ers. The Patriots would get on the board after a 44-yard run by Blunt and a 9-yard touchdown pass to new fan favorite James White. The rest of the first half and beginning of the second half would not go as planned against the hapless 49ers. The Patriots would let up a touchdown and a field goal, while putting one more on the board for themselves with a 5-yard touchdown pass to Danny Amendola. Eventually, the Patriots would find their groove, including a 50-yard pass to rookie Malcolm Mitchell for his first career touchdown. The day would finish with a solid win, with Blunt rushing over 125 yards and Brady throwing 4 touchdown passes. The victory would also mark Brady's 199th career win, tying Brett Favre for second place. The The Patriots would travel to MetLife Stadium with the best record in the league for their Week 12 matchup against the New York Jets. The game would start off slowly, but the Patriots' biggest season impact would come on their third drive of the game, and the Patriots' biggest threat, Rob Gronkowski, would walk off to the sideline injured, unknowingly at the time, for the rest of the season. The Jets would take control of the game, scoring the first 10 points, until a silent but effective Malcolm Butler would strip and recover the ball from the Jets. On the next drive, Brady would connect with Malcolm Mitchell for their first touchdown. After swapping punts, the Jets would retake the lead after marching down the field without a single third down, eventually scoring a touchdown. A few drives later, and down by 1 point, the Patriots would be stuck on their own 17 due to a holding penalty on Devin McCourty, negating Danny Amendola's punt return. Brady would come through with a clutch 9-play, 83-yard drive. Facing a 4th and 4 at the Jets' 37, Brady would complete 3 consecutive passes, with the third being rookie Malcolm Mitchell's third career touchdown. With this victory, the Patriots would clinch their 16th consecutive winning season and their 500th franchise win. Tom Brady would surpass the 60,000-yard career passing mark and surpass Brett Favre and tie Peyton Manning with his 200th career win. The Patriots would return to Foxborough in Week 13 to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Tom Brady was making his 231st career start, tying John Elway for 5th most all-time. The Patriots marched 80 yards right down the field on their opening possession, scoring on an 83-yard burst by Blunt. After a series of punts, Malcolm Butler would again prove his talent with an interception on the last play of the first quarter. It would only take Brady 4 plays to find new superstar Chris Hogan on a 14-yard touchdown pass. The Rams wouldn't get on the board until late in the third quarter, but the Patriots would counter with their own field goal after a solid drive, giving them a 23-point lead. The Patriots defense would intercept Rams quarterback Jared Goff again, paving the way for another Gostowski field goal. Goff would connect for one more touchdown before the Patriots would recover the onside kick and secure their 10th win. The defense would show the NFL their colors by holding the Rams to only 162 yards and just 10 points, while forcing 2 turnovers. Brady would also surpass Peyton Manning for the most post and regular season victories by any NFL quarterback. The Patriots would look to continue the streak at home in Week 14 as they host AFC rival, the Baltimore Ravens. The Patriots defense would show up strong again, holding the Ravens to several punts, and eventually gaining their 3rd safety of the year from a combined tackle by Patrick Chung and Malcolm Brown on Ravens' Kenneth Dixon. On their next drive, the Ravens would reach the Patriots' 16, but Shea McClellan would block Justin Tucker's field goal attempt. Following that, after covering 74 yards in 10 plays, Blunt would get his 14th touchdown of the season, tying him with Chris Martin of the 1995 Patriots. After forcing the Ravens to punt, the Patriots would race 89 yards, which included a 61-yard completion to White, and give yet another touchdown to rookie Malcolm Mitchell. The Patriots defense would prove strong with Devin McCourty intercepting Joe Flacco. The Ravens would quickly retaliate, giving Tom Brady his 2nd interception of the year. The Ravens would get onto the board with a field goal before the half. With their first possession of the game, the Patriots would capitalize with a 19-yard touchdown pass to Bennett, giving the Patriots a 20-point lead. However, the Ravens got back in the game with aid from the Patriots. The Ravens would score after a muffed punt return from Cyrus Jones on the Pats' 3 and score again after recovering a forced fumble on Matthew Slater on the Pats' 22-yard line. After another field goal, the Ravens would quickly have 17 points on the board. Realizing a potential loss after a great solid lead, Brady came out swinging with a 79-yard touchdown pass to wide-open Chris Hogan. This would be Brady's 450th career touchdown pass. The Ravens would show they're still in it with another field goal, cutting the deficit to a 1-touchdown game. On their last drive, the Patriots would make a surprising move to secure the win. On a 4th and 1 with 13 seconds remaining, they let Blunt run 3 yards instead of kicking it away. The Patriots would put up almost 500 yards of offense and 30 points against the league's number 1 defense. This would also be Brady's 100th career home win. For Week 15, the Patriots would travel to a very cold Denver to take on the Broncos in a rematch of the previous season's AFC Championship game. The first half of this game would be a battle of both defenses, including an interception by Logan Ryan, with each team scoring a field goal and Blount eventually reaching the red zone at the end of the first. The second half would look the same, with several 3-and-outs by each team. The Patriots would manage to get close enough twice to allow Gostowski to put away a field goal on each attempt. On the Broncos' last possession, Devin McCourty would recover a fumble by Denver's Jordan Norwood, securing the win in a first-round bye for the playoffs. Even without a strong showing by Brady and company, and only Brady's third time beating the Broncos in Denver, the Patriots would advance to 12-2 and win the AFC East title for the 8th consecutive season, the most consecutive division titles won by any team. In Week 16, the Patriots would take on the New York Jets for their second time of the season, this time hosting them in Foxborough with a secured first-round bye. In a game where many would think key Patriot players would be resting, and the Jets, who always seem to give the Patriots trouble even on their best days, would come out swinging. The Patriots would do the opposite and dominate this game from beginning to end. Gostowski would give the Patriots an early lead with a 29-yard field goal. In the next drive, silent assassin Malcolm Butler would have another season interception, reminding everyone he is more than a one-hit wonder. It wouldn't take Brady and company long to capitalize on the turnover and continue their lead with a Martellus Bennett touchdown. 2 possessions later, Butler would again recover the Jets' ball after a fumble by Kyrie Robinson. The Patriots would again take the ball away from the Jets with an Eric Rowe interception on Ryan Fitzpatrick. 4 plays later, rookie third-string tight end Matt Langle would receive his first career touchdown from an 18-yard pass by Brady. With just 25 seconds left in the first, Brady would throw another touchdown pass, this time to James White. The Patriots would keep rolling in the second half with a Blount touchdown and yet another Malcolm Butler interception. With this, Bill Belichick recorded his 200th regular season win with the Patriots, the 5th coach in history to accomplish this feat. The Patriots would travel to Florida to face the Dolphins for their final regular season game. Right out the gate, the Pats would march 75 yards down the field, resulting in a touchdown to Bennett from Brady. On their next possession, 5 plays later, newly acquired Michael Floyd would get his first touchdown as a Patriot by fighting through 4 defenders. The Pats' defense would keep the momentum with Logan Ryan intercepting the Dolphins on their next possession, resulting in 3 more points by Gostowski. The Dolphins would eventually jump into this game, scoring before halftime and scoring again on their first possession of the second half. Midway through the fourth, Devin McCourty would force a fumble that Shea McClellan would recover, allowing Blount to score 4 plays later. The Patriots would clinch home field advantage through the AFC playoffs and finish with a 14-2 record for the first time since 2010. Their 6th consecutive season, the Patriots would play an AFC divisional game, this time hosting the Houston Texans. The Patriots would secure a win, but it wouldn't be pretty. Most noticeably, we would see Brady take a serious beating by a tough Houston defense. The Patriots would turn the ball over 3 times, with 2 of those being interceptions thrown by Tom Brady, which is equivalent to interceptions thrown by him all season. The Houston defense also kept New England's run game to under 50 yards in the first 3 quarters. But the Patriots would conquer and come through, still winning by 18 points. Brady would have some fantastic plays under Houston's intense defense, forcing him to launch the ball in the air in hopes of someone catching it, which seemed to have worked out fine. One example would be under a Houston blitz with Brady making an incredible connection to Chris Hogan, and then another 48-yard bomb to Edelman. Quiet since returning from his injury, Dion Lewis would emerge in the second half for the biggest game in his life. Being the first ever to accomplish this in the NFL postseason, Lewis would have a huge night with 1 receiving, 1 rushing, and 1 returning touchdown. Furthermore, the Patriots defense would continue to show that they are one of the best in the league, with Harmon, McCourty, and Ryan all recording an interception each. Bill Belichick would be heard saying, "A big day for Rutgers," as coincidentally all 3 of these players were Rutgers alumni. Also, on a 44-yard pass from Brady to wide receiver Julian Edelman, Edelman surpassed former Patriot Wes Welker for most receptions in the postseason, breaking the former Patriots record of 69. The Patriots would be just 2 games from completing their drive for 5. In what many would think would be the toughest matchup yet for New England, the Patriots shredded the Pittsburgh defense, powering the New England Patriots to a 36-17 rout of the Steelers in the AFC Championship game. With both teams attempting to make their 9th Super Bowl appearance, Tom Brady would take control with the help of Chris Hogan and Julian Edelman, who would both have huge games. Hogan, who signed with the Patriots as a free agent last offseason, caught 9 passes for a club playoff record 180 yards in the first 2 touchdown game of his career. Edelman had 8 grabs for 118 yards, the 4th 100-yard postseason game of his career. Early in the game, Edelman passed Deion Branch and became the club leader for postseason receiving yards. Having a healthy Ben Roethlisberger wouldn't make a dent, and all-star wide receiver Antonio Brown would not even be a factor. Top running back Le'Veon Bell would sustain a groin injury in the first half and not return to the game. After a slow start to the game, Brady capped off an 80-yard drive with a 16-yard touchdown pass to Chris Hogan for a 10-0 lead. The Steelers countered with an 11-play, 84-yard drive with DeAngelo Williams scoring on a 5-yard touchdown run. The Patriots would not only answer back, but to get the crowd fired up with a flea flicker from Dion Lewis, resulting in a 34-yard touchdown pass to Chris Hogan. The Patriots would hold the Steelers to just a field goal for the rest of the first half. The two teams would battle out the beginning of the second half, keeping each other out of the end zone. This is until the Patriots took advantage and stormed 88 yards, with LeGarrette Blount carrying half of the Steelers to the 1-yard line, then finishing off the drive on the next play, giving the Patriots a 27-9 lead. Later, the Steelers' situation grew worse as Kyle Van Noy stripped the ball from Eli Rogers, allowing Rob Ninkovich to recover. 4 plays later, Brady would find Edelman for a 10-yard touchdown. Later, the Pats' stellar defense would end all hope of a comeback with an interception by Eric Rowe, cementing the Patriots' road to their 9th Super Bowl appearance, the most by any team in NFL history. The New England Patriots would head down to Houston, Texas for their 9th and most historic Super Bowl appearance to date against the Atlanta Falcons. Both quarterbacks would be ranked as the league's best, with the Falcons having the number 1 offense and the Patriots having the number 1 defense. They would have to hold off dual running back threat Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman while putting double coverage on top wide receiver Julio Jones. There was no argument that the Falcons had earned their way to the Super Bowl, but the fuel that fired the Patriots' desire for their 5th championship proved to be much stronger. The Patriots would overcome the largest deficit in Super Bowl history. Both teams would go scoreless in the first quarter, with each team's front 7 showing what they're made of. The Falcons would initiate the first turnover with a forced fumble on Blount. On the other side of the ball, Julio Jones would be shut down, as well as quiet performances by Atlanta running backs. That is until Devontae Freeman began breaking free and scored a 5-yard touchdown early in the second. During that drive, the Patriots would also see the threat Julio Jones could be, even during double coverage. Julio Jones would catch his only 4 targets, but all of them would be crucial for the Falcons. The third being on the Falcons' next touchdown drive, with an unbelievable catch by Jones helping pave the way for a 19-yard touchdown pass to Austin Hooper. Shortly after, things would continue downhill for the Pats with an interception for a pick-6 by cornerback Robert Alford. The Patriots would not score until Gostowski put 3 on the board with only 5 seconds left in the first half, making it a 21-3 game. Things were looking grim for the Patriots heading into the second half, with no Super Bowl team ever coming back from this big of a deficit. And they would continue to look grim through the third quarter. The Patriots would continue struggling getting in the red zone, and the Falcons would score another touchdown with a 4-yard pass to Tevin Coleman with 8 minutes left in the third. But with a strange twist of fate, the Falcons would not score again as the Patriots embarked on their wild comeback. After a failed flea flicker, the shift in momentum would happen on a 4th and 3 completion to Danny Amendola. Then on a 3rd and 8, Brady would run the ball himself for 20 yards. We would see the beginning of an incredible James White with a 5-yard touchdown pass from Brady. Making things seem grim again, Gostowski would miss the extra point. He would come back and redeem himself with a 33-yard field goal to cut the deficit to 16 points. Then, what everyone was waiting for, The Pats would force a turnover when Hightower would bombard Matt Ryan without him even seeing it. Then Brady and the Patriots would achieve the impossible: 2 back-to-back touchdowns with 2 two-point conversions. The first would be a 6-yard touchdown pass to Amendola, with James White completing the 2-point conversion. With the help of arguably the most impressive catch in Super Bowl history, and very reminiscent of catches by opposing teams in the Patriots' previous 3 Super Bowls, Julian Edelman would reel one in to help the Patriots reach the end zone. The roles would then switch. With 56 seconds left on the clock, James White would run it in for a touchdown, and Amendola would complete the 2-point conversion to tie the game. For the first time in Super Bowl history, a game would go into overtime. New England would win the coin toss and march it right down the field, as if they had never even been down by 25 points. After executing play after play, the Patriots would reach the red zone. After 2 failed touchdown attempts to Martellus Bennett, Super Bowl hero James White would find his way into the end zone for his 4th time, winning Super Bowl 51 in the greatest comeback ever. Things hadn't been perfect. Players would come and go, many injured and sidelined for games on end. There would be scandals, accusations, and a general bias against the Patriots as they built their dynasty over the last 15 years. Defense and offense would be broken and rebuilt, but 3 things would stay consistent: Coach Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, and most importantly, the Patriot way. The 2016 Patriots would cement their dynasty as a team, end all debates, and prove that you can always count on Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr.